Hello and welcome to another episode of Friday Morning Chats. We're your host. I'm Pia and I'm joined by Sharissa. And we're here to talk about today, our topic is the sneaky types of ingredients that are in the ingredient list and how they affect us on a daily basis. So our topic this week has been commandment number 1 on the 10 commandments for clean eating. And if you want to follow along, please visit us at www.iamacleaneater.com. That's www.iamacleaneater.com. And on there, you'll be able to see the 10 commandments for clean eating. Commandment number 1 is to let the ingredient list guide you, and we have a whole blog on this and a video that we'll link to here in this video. But now we want to talk about what happens, the prolonged effects of continuing on the standard American diet, the idea of continuing to eat these types of foods and how they might affect us. So there are a lot of people I know, and first I want to talk about just kind of, there's ailments, right? So high cholesterol, there is high blood pressure, the levels of obesity are going up, right? So, I mean, pick a topic. And diabetes, right? So there's so many. So let's just kind of start with sneaky ingredients, not reading the ingredient list, and how that can affect your cholesterol, and then what we can do, just make some simple changes of what we could do to improve on that.
Okay.
And I know the cholesterol test is kind of like, if you're 200, oh my God, you got high cholesterol, but 199, you're okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so the test itself is a little, you know, and so maybe let's start there about the test and how people.
So really interesting about cholesterol. Cholesterol is such an interesting measurement of health, because what we think a cholesterol test is actually testing for, it actually isn't.
Okay.
So when we have high levels of what they call bad cholesterol, which isn't bad at all, LDL cholesterol, it actually signifies that there's something wrong in your body. Our body uses cholesterol to seal up damage in our tissues and in our organs. So if you have really elevated levels of cholesterol, it typically means that something is wrong in your body, and your body's trying to overproduce that cholesterol in order to make sure that it's going to heal properly.
Okay.
So your body is naturally overproducing it. Most of our cholesterol is actually produced in our liver. And foods that we eat can increase the levels of damage in our body, which then increases the level of cholesterol. So it's more of like a backwards thinking. It's not you're eating food and it's creating cholesterol. It's you're eating food, it's creating damage, which tells your body to make more cholesterol, which then shows up in your tests. Okay. So our natural Western society way of looking at that is, then you have too high of cholesterol. We've shown that if you have high cholesterol that you're more likely to have heart attacks and things like that. Again, we're still looking at it backwards. If you have high cholesterol, you have damage somewhere, and the damage is what's causing the later problems.
And is the damage from foods that just cause inflammation?
It's the chemicals. So the foods in the ingredient list, those sneaky ingredients, things like the corn, the MSG, the artificial sweeteners, the dyes, the colors, all of those things are creating damage in our body. They're creating inflammation, which is also causing damage. It's causing weaknesses in the organs. The organs are having to try to overcompensate for things. So that's when we end up having, like, your gallbladder, you'll have gallbladder attacks, they'll take your gallbladder out because the damage was so bad in your body that your gallbladder had to overcorrect for the problems that you were causing, and then inflammation and the bad foods, because when you ate all those chemicals and the body didn't know how to digest them properly, it dumped more bile, or it stored more fat in your liver, so we got fatty liver. Okay. So it isn't that our body is just shutting down for no reason. As we're putting more chemicals into our body, we're getting more inflammation, more pain, more breakdown, and then as a result of that, our body's creating more cholesterol.
Okay, so the egg that is high in cholesterol does not cause high cholesterol?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Your body produces most of its own cholesterol in your liver. And it makes its own. We can give it the building blocks to help make sure we have enough cholesterol. Studies nowadays are showing that older adults who have higher cholesterol are living longer and getting sick less often than those who are on cholesterol blocking medication. So if you block the cholesterol that's being built up in your body to heal the organs that are damaged, you actually block that ability to heal the organs. And instead, if you're taking,
like the Lipitor.
yes, so if you're taking cholesterol blocking medication and you have a problem, say it's your heart, say your heart is getting damaged, it's breaking down because it's having to work too hard to pump the chemical blood through your body. So now it's breaking down. Your body then produces cholesterol to heal that damage, but we've blocked it, right? You take the Lipitor, it blocks the production of cholesterol. Your body's next step to heal is calcium. So calcium then will seal up the damage in your heart or seal up the damage in whatever organ that's having the problems. The problem with calcium versus cholesterol is this really nice malleable fat substance.
Okay.
Cholesterol is not. It's hard. So if you're healing and sealing with cholesterol,
It's like chalk, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So now we've got blockage and damage and actual problems being caused in that organ because it's not healing properly. It's healing with cholesterol, which is hard. And we don't ever want that like hard, breakable substances in our organs. We want the nice, good cholesterol. So eating the food isn't making you produce more cholesterol, but eating the food is causing the damage, which then the body makes more cholesterol to heal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So when people say, "Oh, stop eating meat, stop eating eggs," that will solve your cholesterol problem.
That is completely false.
Okay.
110% false.
Okay.
We need to be eating the really good fats, the really good high quality foods, and you don't necessarily have to eat meat. You can eat great quality vegetables. Eating the real food allows the body to heal itself and regulate on its own.
Okay.
So if we have people coming in, I had a client this week tell me I broke my ankle and my cholesterol levels are high. And I think, of course, with the way my mind thinks, like, of course it is. Your body is damaged. Your body produced more cholesterol to heal the damage. If you block the cholesterol by taking the cholesterol blocking medication, you won't heal. It won't heal properly, and it won't heal to the extent that it won't ever hurt again. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the healing with cholesterol, or healing with the calcium, was going to cause more damage long term. That's when we're going to end up seeing someone who needs 5 bypasses and things like that, because all of those things were all of that damage was being healed with calcium, which is a hard substance, which is going to cause more blockages.
Okay.
So it's very backwards thinking, but the idea is we know if you have high cholesterol, you're at a higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. But it's not for the reasons that you think it is. It's because there was damage that wasn't healed properly that's now being healed with calcium.
Okay. So what about the people that say, "Oh, well, start your day off eating oatmeal and that will, or other types of," I think the idea is, the thought process, tell me if I'm right, when people say that, it's more about getting more fiber into your diet, and the fiber is somehow supposed to help. How does that relate?
So my problem with starting your day with oatmeal is it's just a carbohydrate.
Right.
So you're not getting any fat, you're not getting any protein. And this is, I've had this,
And it's a
lot,
grain.
and it's a grain.
And it causes inflammation.
It causes
right?
inflammation. It creates a full feeling, but it won't last that long, right? It's grain, so it's not as absorbable as other foods. It doesn't digest as well in your digestive system, so it's going to create inflammation. It's going to give you that sensation of feeling full, but it's not for the reasons that you think it is. And it's a grain, so you're not getting a whole lot of nutrients for your first thing in the morning. And then, of course, people who are starting their day with oatmeal then get like a sandwich or something with carbohydrates, and then, donut or bagel or whatever it is, and it's just kind of following that
They're
carb,
continuing on that, sugar burning idea.
Exactly. So I have had people who have success with switching their oatmeal to a sprouted quinoa in the morning, and that seems to be even like a little bit of a step up because it has a little bit more protein, and then they add things like a good tablespoon or 2 of ghee or coconut oil, maybe a little bit of date syrup for the sweetness, maybe add a little bit of collagen into the mix so that you're getting some protein. If that's what you really want in the morning, is a hot bowl of something. We made a cauliflower oatmeal oatmeal that was amazing.
It was really good.
You could do the quinoa, soak it overnight, and then have a quinoa oatmeal. And for my mother-in-law, I used to have her make a big batch of quinoa in the crock pot every week, and then just heat a little bit up as she went. But she added the collagen, the coconut oil, and a little bit of cinnamon, things like that, some crushed up blueberries, and that was a real meal.
Yeah.
But when you're starting out and you're already getting yourself kind of in that inflamed setting, you're creating more damage than you're doing good.
Okay.
So if that's your go-to breakfast, comment below. We'll give you a couple of good suggestions for that. Because we want you to be as successful as you can.
Yeah. And again, try getting on to our website, which we have a bunch of excellent meal plans.
Oh, yes.
It's on www.iamacleaneater.com. So what we're getting at here, Sharissa, and see if I've got it right, is we have these ailments, which, like, we'll just list some, right? High cholesterol, high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes,
Well, and let's just touch on those real quick.
Okay.
High blood pressure. The blood is pumping too quickly. It's like if you see your maybe this will make sense. If you see your dog like breathing really heavy, really fast, and they're like they're in pain and there's damage somewhere.
Okay.
And so they're trying to get out of that by pumping the blood faster through the body. So again, we've caused more damage. The doctors are looking at it like you have high blood pressure, we have to block it, instead of looking at why did I get high blood pressure in the first place? Diabetes, like I said, your organs are being taxed and you're having damage created in the organs. Now what happens with the diabetes is your pancreas was taxed so hard because it was trying to do over the work that it was supposed to do. So if your gallbladder is not dumping in the bile the way it's supposed to, and your liver isn't helping in the way that it's supposed to because they're all bogged down, now the pancreas is going to work super hard to produce more insulin and to produce pancreatic enzymes, which is what allows you to digest your food. Now when that's overworked and it doesn't work anymore, that's when we get diabetes.
Okay.
So again, it depends on where the damage is taking place in your body. And I think the more important question is to ask yourself, how did that happen in the first place?
Absolutely.
Not how do I do this medication or how do I do that? It's how did I get to this point? And all of it leads back to, well, stressful lifestyles, which we can't really get around any much anymore, and what we're putting in our body.
And that we can roll back. Like, I mean, the stress, we can look at ways in which we can, look at breathing practices and different books and reading and change your routine a little bit to help on the side of stress. And then the second thing with the food, that's where we come into play and try to understand, how do we roll this back? And commandment number 1 is really our most important commandment.
It's so important.
Which is read the ingredient list and let the ingredient list guide you.
Yeah.
That's commandment number 1.
Yep.
So it's not about the nutritional facts, right? Because it'll say cholesterol in there, it'll say protein, it'll say calories, it'll say all this stuff. But until you understand, well, where did it come from? Where did the protein come from? Where did the sugars come from? Where did the fats come from? And that's what the ingredient list guide or the ingredient list on the product helps you understand.
Exactly.
So a lot of these ailments that we talked about today can start to get rolled back, right?
Yeah.
By following a clean eating lifestyle, but
Absolutely.
it's understanding what clean eating means.
Right.
Because unfortunately, there are a lot of people running around thinking they're eating clean when they're still eating a bunch of processed junk.
Yeah.
And they're not making that connection, or somehow in their minds, oh, well, I gave up meat, so I'm a clean eater, right?
Well, and then the misconception, I think that's so common right now with these, what's really trendy to do, like drink these 2 shakes or have this, have this meal replacement, things like that. And that then makes you cleaner because you're doing this meal that supposedly has 400 superfoods in it. When really, when we get to the bottom of it, it's just a bag full of processed crap.
Right.
And so that's not helping you at all, and that's not teaching you to learn how to read ingredients and not to just trust blindly when someone tells you this is a good product and do this instead of what you're doing.
Right.
In some cases, I'd rather you have the oatmeal and things like that than the shake.
Right.
Unless you're getting a really high quality. So
Yeah.
if that's something you're doing now, if you're doing 2 meal replacements instead of meals and then eating 1 meal a day, also drop that in the comments,
these types
because
of
we would
programs,
love,
right?
absolutely,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
would love to give you a great, like an actual healthy shake recipe that has food in it and things that are going to benefit you on that clean eating scale.
Right.
But if that's what you're into, we can help you on that side too.
Yes, absolutely. So we love to give this information on our Friday morning chats. We also do our Monday night insights, which are every Monday. If you've missed these, you can go on to our website called iamacleaneater.com, and on there, as you scroll through that website, you'll see an opportunity there to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And all of the videos that we've been doing for the past year are there. So you can see our library of information and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also watch us. We love to cook too. Did you know that? And so we have some great recipes on there. I'm so excited because we're going to start making new recipes.
Yes, following our meal plans.
Yes, following our meal plans. So that's coming up too. So we're always updating information, but we love to hear from you. So please, every opportunity that you have to connect with us, we would love to hear you. So you have an opportunity now to connect with us by leaving comments under this video. You have an opportunity to connect with us on our blogs on our website, iamacleaneater.com. So there's so many ways to get to us, and you could come, if you're local, you could come to the store, and the store is called Artisan's Palette, and it's in the Kmart Hobby Lobby Center, and we're over by the theater side. So we would love to see you in person as well. So until next time, we will see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.